So what would your what was that journey like for you, man? What was the first time you picked up a blade and started to work and learn like?
Well, before I even picked up a blade there, they had me train on pipes, and the pipes were much heavier than the actual weapons. But that was just because we have a certain form that we like to stick to, just so that way, of course, we are doing dangerous stuff, but we're trying to do it safely, so that we can do it for years to come.
Hmm.
Uh, So we have a form that we stick to, and in order to stick to that form, you have to be able to control your body. And if you can control your body while wielding a pipe, which weighs maybe like 15, 20 pounds, but it
Oh
is,
wow.
yeah, it's a pretty heavy pipe. And because it weighs the same all the way through, it's a pretty long pipe too. So it feels more top heavy, even though it's the same weight through and
Yeah,
through, right?
that makes sense. Yeah.
So, but if you can hold the end of the pipe and be able to strike a head and be controlled, and then strike a leg and then strike a shoulder while in control on a pipe, then they know that you're going to be trusted when you actually get a weapon. And then when you get the
That makes
weapon,
sense, dude.
since it's much lighter, you don't have to use as much effort to stick to the form because it's already ingrained in you like tenfold by using a pipe.
That makes so much
Yeah.
sense, dude. I when I used to play lacrosse in high school, I used to practice. I used to practice with a solid bamboo stick, and I played defense, so I had one of the big 6 foot long lacrosse sticks,
Yeah.
and I'd practice with a solid bamboo one. It was heavy. It was heavy, and then when I would go and play a game, I'd take the head off of it and I'd switch it to a carbon fiber shaft that felt like a cloud. So when I'd
Yeah.
go and when I'd go and do a poke check, or I'd go and strike, like I'd strike the other player's stick to knock the ball out of the head of his lacrosse stick, they were just
Yeah.
wicked fast because my muscles were attuned to that big heavy piece of bamboo. When I went down to that, it's training your muscles essentially,
Hmm.
and giving your muscles that control.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
that's smart.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. Okay. So a phrase that we like to say, because it's kind of funny how people outside of the company will say this: anyone can do what we do, but not anybody can do what we do, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
anybody
it
can do
does.
this job. You can start off as a squire, train to be a knight, ride a horse, swing a sword. Anybody can do that, right? But not anybody will have the mental fortitude or the physical capability to actually do it. So
Yeah.
it's all about pushing your limits, because this job is very physically extensive. So your mental fortitude has to be like a game every single show, every single day. Like, you may be training twice as hard right before the show, and you might be exhausted. Your body is like, oh, I'm about to have a cramp, or I need food, or just give me a little sip of water. Oh, well, you have to get on a horse and you got to go do your fight and make it seem like you're fresh as a board.
Yep.
And if you can't do that, then unfortunately this job is not for you, because as much as we try to take care of ourselves, we really care about how the crowd is enjoying it.
Hmm.
We love it when a crowd is behind us, and oh, I can remember the very few times when me and another knight are in a fight, and we are so in tune with each other. Like, we have such good chemistry in our fight. We're actually like in it, and we're making it so intense between us that the crowd would erupt. And when the crowd would erupt, we have boom mics, so that way, in case if we're like hitting swords and we're right under it, it kind of creates that bigger effect of like we're hitting each other.
That's so
we
awesome.
we only have 3 or 4 of them placed up top. We don't have it laid across everywhere.
Hmm.
But when a crowd is so in it and they are cheering so loud, it can literally mess up our boom mics where we get that feedback of that just
Oh
out of
no.
nowhere. And those are the best moments because as much as we're putting our heart and soul into the show that we're giving them, they're giving us that much energy back. Oh, there's just nothing like that feeling,
I bet,
dude.
dude.
Yeah,
I
he's
bet.
Winning or losing the fight, it doesn't matter. In that moment, when you feel that crowd be behind you and they don't know if you're going to win or lose, but they're just like the amount of times I would go to a meet and greet after a show and a person's like talking very raspy and they're like, man, I cheered so loud for you. As you can hear, my voice is gone. Like, I'm probably going to have a problem talking at my job for the next couple days. Like, oh, it's so rewarding. The
That is
people,
awesome to hear.
as much as we get to have fun just riding horses and swinging the swords, it's mainly the crowds, man. The
Oh, I bet.
crowd being behind us when we put so much effort to give a good show and they are that good of a crowd. I'm getting chills just thinking about it, dude.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Oh man.
Oh.
Tell you,
I'm
bro.
picturing myself in your shoes and I'm like, bro, I would love this. I would love that.
You've gotta want it every day, man. That's awesome. Sounds very
Yeah,
rewarding.
it is very rewarding. And then at the beginning of this year, I started learning a new position, which, as most people who would come to the show or has seen the show would know, we have a villain, a bad guy. Ooh, scary. And he does have a speech in it. And so I started doing that this year and started like working on my speech, trying to be good. And I would say about out of the 7 or 8 times that I've done it now, maybe 5 or 6 of those, I had the crowd behind my back. So with the villain, long story short, there's an alliance between the king and the queen who's been at war with each other for decades, right? And so they're trying to be like, all right, let's stop wasting lives. It's better if we just combined our resources, right?
Yeah.
And one of the kingdom's knights doesn't agree to the alliance because they've been at war for decades. And so why just all of a sudden change it, right? We
Too
should
much.
be just, yeah, we should be the ones just taking advantage and winning and just take everything. And so during the speech, you're kind of calling out the queen, and then the king tries to call you out, and then you call out the king, and then the queen basically is like, I don't know why you were acting this way. It was such a regret bringing you to this tournament. I thought you were going to be very professional and cordial no matter how much you disliked the king. I thought you following me meant more than you trying to appease the king or whatever, right?
Right.
Well, now you're not going to even be a part of this alliance anymore. Like your house is broken, like everything's taken from you specifically. Like you're gone. And so then usually after my speech and everybody else is on like, we want an alliance, we like this guy, or we like the having the king and queen together and all this. Whenever I would have done that speech within those 5 and 6 times, the crowd would be behind me. Like, no,
Yeah.
F this alliance, F
Yeah.
the queen, F the king. Like, this is our boy. Like, we have his back. You're saying that he has nothing after this? Well, we have everything for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had the crowd behind me and want
No, I know
to
exactly what you're saying.
just boo everybody else. Like it was us against the world.
Yeah.
And I'm still fresh to doing it, right? To doing that position. But to have gotten that type of reaction within the few amount of shows that I've gotten, it almost makes me feel like, okay, this is a spot that I was meant to do. You know, like out of all the other spots, because again, if you've seen the show before, you know that the villain doesn't win. But
Yeah.
we do try to make it seem like the villain does like get close to winning, at least at certain points, right?
Make
So
Right.
it look juicy.
yeah, you got to have that pizzazz in it.
Yeah,
That's
man, you got
how.
it.
That's why, even though me spoiling it, you don't know how the villain loses. So,
Mhm.
but
Always
uh,
try. So even not knowing anything about the story, one could just assume and then be correct.
Yeah.
exactly. And so, uh, this job is just like you said, a childhood dream, and it real. I will admit this because it sounds corny and cheesy, but when I was a kid, I was that different kid when the teacher would ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And kids would be like, "Policeman, fireman, uh, oh, journalist, or photographer." I was
Right.
the one that got grown up with Princess Bride and like all
Oh,
these
dude,
different
Princess
types of shows.
Bride was the best.
You know, like
Bro, yes.
dude, like those types of movies back in the day where like people would wear armor and there were like
Yes,
those
bro.
types of medieval shows. It's like raw carnage type of shows. Like,
We were the kids going to the Renaissance Festival, and I know for a fact because Carrot used to go with me. Like we were those kids. I know how
yeah,
you feel, bro. I know how you
I've been to
yeah.
the
feel.
in
So
three.
I was, yeah, I was the one in class that was just like, I'm gonna be a knight. Like I want to be a guy that will protect what he loves and his kingdom. And
Dude,
everybody
from what I
laughed at me
remember
back
of
then,
you,
right?
I remember them laughing back then, but I remember I'm like, he fucking means it. Like I remember it. I distinctly remember that. Like my memories of you are fond, bro, because you were always like growing up in high school, you were always the nicest dude. Like, oh, you like approachable by like anybody. You were one of the nicest, most genuine, likable people. You just walk up to anybody and say, "What's up? Hey, nicest dude, nicest guy in the world." And I remember you saying that once. I remember you like, "I'm gonna be nice." I remember like, I'm gonna take care of my people." I remember you saying it, and I'm like, I believe him. Like, y'all can laugh. No, I believe him. Now look at you, bro. You're a fucking knight now. You're like,
I right? Like
look at you, bro.
it's such a life in a circle type of thing. It it really like it brought me back to that memory. That's why I was like, wow, I really am living my childhood dream right
Yeah, you
now.
are, dude.
It so
Like, I couldn't be more happy for you, honestly. Like, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass by any means, because that's not something I do. Just ask Carrot. Like, I've bitched Carrot out at least like 3 times this week. I am not a pussyfooter usually.
yeah.
Like,
Uh,
bro, I am genuinely happy for you because you have found something that so many people would give anything for, bro. What you have found is not only a calling, but also a lifestyle. You've brought the two things that you love, like you brought your livelihood and what you love together. If I could do that, dude, bro, like
the
my
dream right
dream is
there.
to have a reptile shop. My dream is to have a reptile. I want to own a reptile store. And then someday I want to be able to go out into the field and do field studies. I'm no scientist, but I'd love to be able to go out and help people find stuff because I know how to do that.
Yeah.
But you did it, dude. You did it. And honestly, like you're good at it. I've seen some videos of you doing your thing, bro. You look the part. Like you look like somebody plucked you out of a fucking time machine, bro. You do such a good job that like I'm amazed. I'm like, man, you belong there. Like you found your calling, dude. You found where you belong, and I couldn't be more happy for you. Like when I see people like that, especially people I grew up with or went to Chandler with, like when I see that, I'm like, fucking good for you, dude. Like, it genuinely makes me happy. Like,
Thank you, brother. It really means a lot too. That really means a lot. It
especially
really
like
does.
seeing what so many of the people you and I grew up with, man. Like a lot of us that graduated out of that graduating class, dude. There's so many of us that like. Do you remember Tristan Cooley?
Yeah,
Carrot and I
yeah,
buried.
Yep.
You know,
yeah,
there's so many more of us that either like they're in a dead end job or never really got into a job for us and they're still living at their parents, or or they're just in some rut somehow. And I'll go and I'll talk to a lot of them, like, well, you have anything that makes you happy? And they're like, dude, what? Like what? Everything wants to drain my paycheck. Everywhere I turn, something screws me over. And anytime I do get a little bit of money, something bad happens. Like what could possibly make me happy? And I'm like, listen, bro, I get it. Life's a bitch. Dude, life's a
yeah.
bit if life was a
Yep.
slut, it'd be easy, but life's a bitch. And
Hmm.
so
Life's a
you
bitch,
have
and then you die. I
yeah,
mean,
dude,
life you
you
drive,
have to
man.
find something that makes you happy though. You have to. There's so many people out there that go through life and they're just like, dude, this fucking sucks. I fucking hate this. Like, and then they just end it. You know, like 22
Yeah.
veterans a day walk through life like that and just end up ending it.
Yeah,
That's 22 a day, bro.
and
And
I
that's just veterans. I'm sure there's so many more out there that if they had something that they could come home to and just enjoy and it makes them happy, like me and my animals,
mhm.
I think that this epidemic that we have, I think it would
Man, yeah,
just
I was gonna
Yeah,
say the subject is like we're kind of going through a major period of, despite having so much entertainment directly at our fingertips and so many opportunities outside of just entertaining ourselves, but actual opportunities as well. It feels like there's not a lot of opportunities because people are wired to have things more simple, and we're
yeah,
so overwhelmed by the vast complexity of the modern world, in my opinion, that it becomes so difficult to even pick one thing to begin being happy with. And it's part of, I think, why we do this podcast. And I mean, I've been stepped away from it for a while because of, some other things going on in my life, but it's really refreshing to hear more positive stories about how it is possible. It's not just possible, it's like achievable, and achievable in a way that isn't like just some pipe dream. Because a lot of people have dreams, and we've been told by generations before us, oh, that idea, that's just some pipe dream. Well, in
yeah,
the modern world, man, like you can achieve just about any of these goals that you want to achieve. Any lifestyle that you choose doesn't have to be like, it can be weird to somebody else or abnormal or out of the status quo norm, but realistically every single lifestyle, every person that I have encountered that has been genuinely happy has had a completely different flavor of happiness to them, doing a completely different thing. And you finding that for yourself is just super freaking awesome, man.
yeah,
And
dude.
then other people being able to hear that story, it kind of, I would hope, as it does for myself, refresh ourselves, give me like this revitalized faith in humanity, that it's not only possible that we can do it, but that those opportunities are out there for people. And kind of what we want to do with the show is like encourage people to find new hobbies, to find new things that root them and their mental health, you
yeah.
know.
No, most
Uh,
definitely. And the one way that I could say that really helped me for this job that to land on my lap was through connections, because the person that like told me about this job was someone from my acting class back in college. So like
Yeah.
You never know that by shaking someone's hand and being like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing acting for? Like, what's your dream?" And having that type of connection and networking, you never know if years down the line, that same person, you may have forgotten about that person, and you guys haven't kept in touch in years. But randomly, they'll hit you up and be like, "Hey, I saw this commercial, and you know what? For some reason, I just feel like you would enjoy this. So by all means, check it out if you'd like." And then what do you know? It became the biggest, best job that I could have ever asked for in my entire life career. You know, like
Yep.
it's certainly possible. You just got to be willing to make those like connections with people, because it
And
could be a person from years in the past or maybe months in the future. You never know. A person might have something that you need in life that can definitely boost your happiness or even boost how you live. Because before this job, I'm not going to lie, I was a lazy person. Like, yeah, I may have been the nicest, genuine guy, but I wasn't the most active. Since I got this job, I've been going to the gym. I've been eating a lot more healthy. Like, yeah, I'll have cheat days, but it's not really a cheat day if you're just having spaghetti, when usually you have chicken or steak or that you cook. And having a girlfriend that knows how to cook too, it's like, dang, she teaches me how to cook too, and we get stuff done together. Woo! The amount of food possibilities that we've had, and dude, the lifestyle change is
you
so
gotta have
possible.
that passion, and it'll be a random thing that gets thrown into your way in life. Like with you, this job getting landed in your lap, like it'll be something that just unexpectedly adds whatever that spice is to your
Hmm.
life, whatever that particular flavor of happiness is. And honestly, like if you're for the audience, like listening and stuff, it's like when you find that, don't let anybody tell you that that feeling is wrong, because like your body, your soul, your heart, like it knows, like, yeah, I want to do this, you know? And that is okay if that changes and evolves and you have multiple chapters in your life, where you do something like wholeheartedly for a number of years and then, and then you do something different. And it can be very hard to switch into something different. Maybe you're at a point where it's kind of stagnating and you're like, man, I'm pretty heavily invested into this, but I don't really want to do this anymore. It can be
Yeah.
very easy to get depressed instead of channeling that energy into something new, but finding that something new can be what you need to make the new chapter happen.
Hmm.
Because that's always okay too, man. Like life isn't one chapter. You got a whole book to write.
Definitely.
Exactly. And I only found this job when I was 25. So literally, I lived a quarter of my life already until I found the job that I know I'm going to keep and it makes me happy. And I want to continue to have this job as a career for years to come. So my job, like my dream with this job, I don't think my body will agree with me, but my dream with this job is to try to be a 50-year-old knight.
Hell yeah, man.
How crazy
I've
would
met
that be?
50-year-old soldiers. I met
That's not too
50-year-old
far
Exactly.
soldiers.
fetched,
You
man.
can do it.
Like, dude, them
Like
fucking veterans
that's
that
my
would be
goal.
really know what the fuck is up. Like, yeah, you'd be the
You
fucking
can do it.
general back in the day, man.
Oh yeah,
Ex-
you would have been the honored
exactly.
elder calling the shots, buddy.
Oh,
Dude,
exactly. So
I've seen wars in these different terrains and blah blah blah.
You
Countless
know,
battlefields.
ironically, historically speaking, you and I, in like 28, almost 30, we would be considered elders on the battlefield. Even today,
That
even
yeah,
is
on
true.
the modern
yeah,
battlefield, you and I are honored elders.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
yeah,
was gonna say 28, and you got the you're looking over at the next guy that's out there, with
yeah.
you in the mud, and he's 19.
Dude, I was the company RTO at 20. I was 20 years old, and I was in charge of an entire infantry company's radios and training up the platoon RTOs. And for those of you that don't know what an RTO is, I'm basically yeah. All right, here's a good example. You ever
Man, I
watch
was only
Monty
responsible for.
Python?
Jeez.
Like Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail?
Yeah.
And you know the opening scene where the knight and his his guy with his big old backpack on and he's clapping the coconuts together comes out of the forest and they're going up to the wall.
Yeah.
Well, imagine the knight, the king. He's the company commander of the infantry company, right? And the
Yeah.
poor bastard behind him with all the shit on his back, that's the RTO. See, the RTO carries a big, stupid, heavy radio on his back, and basically listens for messages while the commander can focus all of his focus on what's in front of him. He can conduct the company and execute a battle if he has to.
Yeah.
Well, the second job of the RTO, because sometimes officers can get silly. They get real excited when they're doing their job, especially infantry officers or combat officers. They get excited and they forget to do things like drink water and eat and sleep.
Uh,
Sometimes if they're a engineering officer, like a combat engineer officer and not an infantry officer, which happened to me once. Shout out to you, Captain No. Love you, big guy. They forget to take cover a lot. They forget the cover and walking across an open road is not a good idea. So sometimes you gotta grab them. Come on, sir. Fucking take a knee, get behind cover, drink some water, and eat this MRE that I've had in my pocket for the past 20 minutes because you need to eat something you haven't eaten in the past, I don't know, 48 hours.
yeah. Yeah.
So that that was me. I was that
Adrenaline
guy.
fuels me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta carry all their stuff, man. Like,
I was
have
that guy.
you're the pack mule with the radio.
And I was in my 20s with that responsibility, bro. Like that's nuts to think about
Yeah.
sometimes. It really is. Like I was just a kid. Like, I'm 28 now. It's not great as far as time goes in the grand scheme of things, but like
Yeah.
I work with people in the reptile industry that are in their like late teens, early 20s sometimes, and I'm like, you're just babies. Oh my god, how does your knees and back feel? I bet they feel great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so crazy how how the like perspective slides with time as you get older like that. Because here we are talking about it like in our later 20s, right? And some of our audience that is much older is probably just
Oh
sitting there
god,
going, "Oh
laughing
yeah,
their asses off. Like,
yeah,
just
they're
wait, you
laughing
bastards.
at
It's gonna get worse.
me."
Hey,
Anytime
hey,
I say
but you
anything along these lines to any of my friends that are like significantly older than me, like I'll be talking to some of the gentlemen, and I'll be like, God, I can't believe like Orion's 7 and this time has already gone past and yada yada. And they're like, you're fucking telling me, brother.
Meanwhile, they're sitting there old enough to be your dad.
Oh my God, man. Most of them
like
been like doing the job I'm helping them with longer than I've been alive. Like,
It's
but
funny.
here's my thing, right? I have something to say to them too. My job hurts. Okay.
So
yeah,
did the infantry. You know what they
But-
say about infantrymen? They compare us to dogs sometimes. Infantry years are like dog years. That for every year you spend in the infantry, it adds 7 years to your back and knees. And I spent 4.5 in that bitch. There's motherfuckers that do 20. They're not
yeah.
humans.
Yeah.
bruh.
No.
They're-
Like I've only been
I
doing this for a little less than
don't
4 years, and my body, like, there's been a couple injuries and like couple bruises, and I'm still like, I gotta stretch this muscle out longer than the rest. I gotta make sure this is moving right.
What's
get the
the
road
armor like?
now.
Is the armor like what's that like, dude? Because
So
I've worn body armor, and I've never worn medieval body armor, but I've worn body armor
it's
with
heavy.
level like military rated plates. Like
Mhm.
it's heavy. I've had Carrot wear my body armor a couple times just so he could feel it.
Heavy.
It's heavy,
Yeah.
It's
heavy.
heavier
So
than you think
what's
it is.
So
what's that suit
the
like, dude?
So the suit's actually not as bad. I mean, apart from the amount of layers that we wear,
Gotta be hot.
yeah, it's more hot than anything. But
More
Can you
hot
can
and
you
heavy.
describe the layers and what they're for?
Yeah.
so I mean, for me personally, I like to wear 2 layers of socks because rolling around in sand, obviously it gets everywhere. So wearing a little bit of double layers kind of helps mitigate that as much as possible. It's not impossible to keep everything out, but it's a
Yeah.
good it keeps it out for a good most for the most part. And then I wear like Spanx underneath, and then the tights. Then I usually have like a practice shirt that has really good material and breathable material that I like to wear underneath the long sleeve tunics, which has a little bit of padding around the shoulders because of the pauldrons that lay on our shoulders. It kind of gives us a little bit of padding so we're not just constantly being hit with the pauldrons, which is
Yeah.
the
So
shoulder pieces.
no gambesson? Like wasn't that the I guess it was kind of like cotton armor. I guess like the padding, the real padding that goes underneath the plate. Is that am I wrong there? I don't know this
Uh,
stuff. I know
Yeah, I thought
things
it was called
no,
sometimes.
canvas.
no.
And
So it is that it's a type of like fabric where it's stretchy, but it's also very durable, and it does have a little pocket on the shoulders where you can actually put like a shoulder pad or,
Okay.
like you said, like cotton pillows or some on the shoulders, so that gives it extra padding. But it already comes with a little bit of padding with just the sleeves in it,
Okay.
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 if that
Interesting.
makes sense. So it's not
No, it
like
does.
thick.
I'm
Modernized
like painting a picture in
version.
my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not thick by any means. It's very thin, like a sweater, but
Uh-huh.
the fabric and the material is stretchy, so that way we can breathe in it. But it's also durable, so that way, if like let's say we do a lot of belly hits and we wear a leather belt, right? A leather belt that we usually try to hit as often as possible to make like the kills and the damage to the belly seem like lethal, because
Uh-huh.
you'll hear that big clap when you get hit through the boom mics, and people are usually like, "Ooh, that sounded like it hurt." But because it's a leather belt, it actually takes most of the impact. Yeah, you still feel the sword
Oh
hitting
yeah.
you, but it takes that impact. So it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt, even though it's like a ooh, like you feel it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it
No, it
does. No, I
does.
mean, it's like when I explain to my son that like you feel it versus it injuring you is a completely different thing. You know,
Hmm.
like no, that did not hurt you. Don't be a bitch. Like
Exactly.
basically, I mean, I'm
Exactly.
saying it differently to my son, obviously, but
Yeah. I mean, not saying that obviously we're human, we make mistakes, we hit high sometimes, or even we try to avoid this, hit low. But
oof.
No.
yeah, there have been moments where you would get hit pretty low and still having to finish the fight, and you're just crying in pain internally because you just want to buckle down, but
You're
you're
like,
like,
oh, can I just fold over yet? Oh god, I
yeah.
gotta keep going.
Be one of those
It makes
moments
it
where
that
I'd
much
want a
more
full face
real,
helmet.
you know.
Yep. I'd want the
It
full
makes
face helmet to cover the tears. Oh God.
makes it that much more authentic, man.
Yeah, no, but hey, there are
I mean,
moments where we get where it looks real is because it was real.
yeah,
Oh God,
In that
exactly.
man.
moment in time, the way that we react to a certain situation, or like something happens and we're both just like that that's
Right.
just real. It's not we're
Yeah.
acting at that point, it's
Yeah.
real.
You
Well,
ever
I
take a
mean, like,
mean
there
hit
was
from
a
the lance
reason
and
that
get the wind knocked out of you?
Oh yeah.
oh,
I
yeah.
bet.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Dude,
sure that's rough.
because we
What's it
have a
like
shield.
trying to stand up when the wind's been knocked out of you in full plate?
Uh, oh well, actually, going back to the armor real quick, like it's not like actual full plated armor. The So what we wear is called a gator bag, and it's essentially what like motorcyclists would wear. It's that type
Mhm.
of body armor where it
Yeah.
has metal plating in it, but it's more like just an extra piece of layering to prevent you from like scratching your back or your chest on the asphalt, right?
Gotcha.
But
Yep.
obviously, we don't have asphalt, we have sand. So, I mean, not saying that I've been kicked, but there's been times where a horse would be like, we would dismount a horse and they'd be a little excited and throw a freedom kick, and it'd be a little close to home, you know? So,
Oh,
in case if you get hit in the chest, it'll prevent any ribs breaking, right? But
Yeah.
it's not heavy by any means. Like in total, the amount of weight with the layers and the gator bag and then the shoulder pads and then the tunic that we wear over everything, probably max 8 to 10 pounds, maybe 15 max. Like,
That's
wow.
like nothing when it comes to armor. Yeah.
yeah, but then you have to
My
realize you're
plate carrier
wearing
was
it.
25 pounds
Oh no,
dry.
I mean that's still a lot of weight.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean, it
saying
is.
over
that.
time,
I was
over
just,
time.
I
It's
was
Yeah.
not
just
like for
like
the first
that.
5 minutes, but like for
Yeah.
over 2 hours, yeah, it
'Cause
gets kind of heavy.
I know some people that have got armor for like, God, what's that organization? I forget what it's called.
Is it what
It's
we were
like
talking
Ren
about
Fair,
earlier?
but when they do like really big like fights in full actual armor and stuff.
Oh,
Um,
the jousting at the Renaissance Festival, I think they do that. They actually have like full sets of armor that they fight in, which
Yeah,
is
a
yeah,
couple
actually
and
weeks
those
kind of
ago.
sets
cool.
are like 120 to 200 pounds of metal.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? Like the metal itself weighs as much as each person. Like yeah, it's about roughly, as I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody like if you're a
I,
150-pound person and you want to be fully like armored up,
Full plate. Yeah.
you got 150 pounds of armor on. If you're a 250-pound person, like you got 250 pounds of metal.
essentially, yeah, yeah. It's they try to. You're essentially wearing another person,
Yeah.
just without the organs.
In a sense, there were plenty of times where, like I was in full kit with a rucksack on and holding a weapon with the radio, and I was basically carrying another me. Like plate carrier's 25 pounds, and then you add all the ammo. Like that's another like what
I was
7
gonna say
pounds? A
you're
full
probably at like 160, 180 pounds
a
all
full
combined.
camelback. Yeah, full
Yeah,
camelback of water. That's another 7 pounds of liquid weight. And then you got, on average, your rucksack's anywhere from like 45 to 70 pounds. And your M4 with no rounds in it, that's about like 6 to 7 pounds, give or take a few. I'm a little rusty on those numbers.
yeah,
And then if you're the unlucky bastard that has to carry the radio like me, that thing was heavy as shit. It was about 8 pounds. Like, and then you got to carry all of the batteries for it, and then you got to carry like your night, like all the batteries for your night vision goggles. You got to carry the batteries for the laser on the end of your weapon. You got to carry extra batteries for the commander
You would be
sometimes because
surprised
he's gonna
how
forget some
much
shit.
those
You know he
batteries
is.
add up.
Hey, oh, dude, and these batteries are
Dude,
not small. Like these batteries are
just in
bricks.
civilian camping, bro. Like I load my whole pack down to go camping, right? Like all my survival gear or whatnot, and I got lightweight stuff, not like what you had, right? And then I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. Add all the batteries that I'm gonna need for my trip.
It's bad.
It suddenly
It's bad.
feels so much worse, and you're like, God
Batteries
damn,
are
dude,
heavy.
just the batteries, man, they're dense.
Batteries are
very.
heavy, and they're so inherently dangerous because there's so many things that can go wrong with them.
Oh
Dude,
my god,
these
take some drone batteries through the woods and then realize too late that it's kind of popped off in your bag and now your
like
entire thing is on fire and that's just not a fun time.
it's not a good time. Like when I see these batteries were like big and obnoxious and just ridiculous, like I'm telling you I could take one of these batteries for this specific radio. It was called an ASIP radio, is what we used to use. Fucking things were from Vietnam, I swear. You could take the battery out of this thing if you ran out of ammo and you were just the unlucky bastard that lost your K-bar. Take the battery out of that radio because you're gonna die anyways. You don't need that bitch, and just throw it at the enemy. And if you can get him in the head, it's gonna kill him. That's how
Yeah.
big and stupid these batteries are. I hated those.
Wow. Wow.
A bludgeoning weapon.
Oh my god, I hate it. And they were so many times where like I was just so fed up with that radio system where I did just want to pick up the battery and just huck it at something because I hated that thing so much. Hated it. Hated it. It was one of the best jobs I ever had in the military during my career because it taught me so much. But what infantryman signs up to go into the army wanting to be an infantryman just to get stuck as some officer's radio bitch, you know? Like, yeah, that's how it rolls. But you live, you learn, you conquer. It worked out. It worked out.
Yeah.
But, well, fellas, I think we're drawn to the end here. Carrot, you got any
We're pushing
closing
our
questions
two
for him?
hours here. Man, I gotta say, like, this has been a awesome session, and like just hearing kind of your story and how it unraveled and that falling into your lap and it really taken to you to where you want to keep doing it is really all inspiring in a lot of ways, and also, like I said earlier, like restoring of faith in humanity that we can achieve the things that we want to do. Um, but if I had like a closeout topic to kind of hit on, is like, what would you want to leave the community with if you could be like known for like, a night that gives inspirational words and stuff, like yourself and your knighthood ship or whatever. Like, what would you want to leave the community with, man?
Mm, let's see. I would say stay determined because no matter how hard life could be or how much your job can suck, there's always a little bit of a win that you can get throughout your days. And so if you can even focus on more on those wins, no matter how small they are, at the end of the day, if you count them out, you'll realize you've had a lot more wins throughout your day than you've had losses. You just stay focused on the losses because it just means that much to you, and it probably didn't make your day go any smoother than it would have. So if you just stay determined and just focus on the little things and the little wins in life, somehow in some way big opportunities and big moments will catch you off guard and could end up changing your life.
Dude, I couldn't
Without
have
a
said that
doubt.
better myself. Yeah, dude.
Without-
100%. 100%.
I
Bro,
would
you've been
also
such
say
a
that, like,
great podcast guest. This has been great. This has been awesome.
thank you. Thank you for coming on board.
Thank
For
you for
one.
the invite. Like I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys for wanting to hear the story. And yeah, like I said, I probably wouldn't even had this opportunity if I wouldn't have met you met you back in high school, so like that's what I mean by connections, 10
Oh,
plus
Yeah,
years
man.
later we're having a
Absolutely.
podcast talking about it, like
yeah, dude, look at us. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
That
If
is
you would have
something
told me all
about.
that time ago, if you would have told me all that time ago that I would have gone through like the military and become a podcast host with more than like 25 reptiles, I would laugh at you. And
Be like, who, me? And no, there's no way that's what's
no.
gonna happen. What?
It's been a journey since high school, bro. I have
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
look back on some of those years and sometimes I cringe at young me. I
oh
really
my
do.
gosh,
Oh, dude,
I
I
dude,
cringe
cringe
at
at
young
that
me so
me all
much.
the time.
Facebook
All
makes me remember a little too much of
Facebook
my
is the worst. Or Snapchat, sometimes some
oh
little memory will
yeah.
pop up.
And you're
Oh
time
like,
my god.
let me delete this so it doesn't pop up
Yeah,
again.
let me get rid of that.
You know,
Yeah.
there's
Dude.
something to be said about wanting, like, when somebody looks you up now that we're, like, past our 25s, like half,
Mhm.
like we don't really want people looking up and then you go back 2 dozen posts and it's when I was 16. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they really
Yeah.
need to go back into that, you know, like
Yeah. The past
get a
can
little
stay in the
update on
past.
it, but it finds its way there, man. Like,
It always does.
I'm grateful for all the life lessons that I've learned, but that can stay all in the past.
Oh,
facts,
fuck
man.
yeah, bud. Fuck yeah.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about progress, man. Nobody is perfect, and everybody is learning how to do life one step at a time. And like, I I've been dumb and done terrible things, and I've been smart and done really wise things, and everything in between, man. And like sometimes you just got to give yourself grace and take it on the chin and say, hey, you know, I'm gonna do a bit better next time, and keep moving forward, you know.
Exactly.
But I do want to touch real quick on that, like, you know, connections with people subject real quick too before we tune off for the community here. Is like, I don't know about everybody else, so I don't want to speak for everybody because that's, you know, the everybody word kind of is hard to use. But speaking for myself, like, it can be very difficult to reach out to people or be like, you might internalize and feel like, oh, it's been a very long amount of time. Like, why would they even respond to me? You know, like, who am I to that person now that it's been so long? Right. And the reality is that, like, relationships aren't always going to be like a communicate every week, every month, every year type of basis. You know, you can have friendships that go dormant, as they say, as many of my, you know, older friends, people in their 40s and 50s might attest to and say, you know, like, you're going to have periods where you've got, you know, 500 people that you might consider friends, and you're only going to see each of them a handful of times in your life. So be friendly with everybody. Know that more people than just your inner circle are your friends. You know, like, I may not have seen all of y'all like very recently, but there's so many of y'all that are my friends. Like, if you reach out to me now, even though we only did like freshman year together, and you're like, hey Connor, like, you know, I want to talk about honeybees, right? Like, I'm here for it, and I want to hear my friends and how they are successful and all that. But what I was trying to say is that, like, that distance is okay, and then circling back and hanging out with your community again at different periods is kind of what we do as human beings. So, like, I don't want people to be in their head that they've been too distant from the community, and that's their reason that they don't come back to the community. Because that happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people that I know personally that get stuck in this funk where it's like, oh, well, now that I'm like, you know, I let them down because I haven't been to the cycling club for 6 months or whatever, right? And I'm like, dude, Johnny, like, you just go. They're gonna be like, hey, welcome back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they're gonna be glad that you showed
so
back up most of the time.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and if they're not, if they're really like, dude, man, fuck you, bro, for just some petty ass reason, like, that's probably not the group for you anyways, you know?
Exactly.
But all in all, like, get out of that shell. And I Tristan's like over there going, man, Connor, you should be telling this to your own self right now. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm telling this to my own self right now so I can hear it later when I'm listening to my own podcast, which is kind of egotistical, but I listen to my own show.
Oh, don't you worry.
And
I'm also going to be listening in on this podcast, seeing how it all
good,
went down.
man. I'm glad.
We all do it. People,
But
so many podcasters will say they don't, but we do.
but I love everybody that tunes in. I love all of my community, and like, if I needed to hear it, part of the reason for this show is to share those things that I feel need to be heard. And so, yeah, I'm saying it for my own self, but I also want everybody else to hear it because, you know, get out of your shell, go and do the things that you enjoy, even if it's been a little minute. You know, it's really easy to just spend another day indoors. Um, but yeah, and if you don't know what you love, find something new.
It's what this show's here to help you to do. We might help you find something cool. You
Yeah.
might even want to go and become a knight.
Hey.
Right. And with that, I should digress off my high horse there, but food for thought, y'all.
Indeed.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Well, Isaiah, my man, do you have any parting words for our peoples before you start telling people where they can get tickets and go out and support you?
Uh, Not really. I mean, if I just know that if you ever want to come see the show, I mean, just look it up online, medievaltimes.com. We have our own website, and the location is in Scottsdale, the one that I am at.
Yep.
And I believe, I mean, tickets aren't necessarily cheap, but they're not expensive either, because you're paying for a 2-hour show with a 4-course meal. So you're getting fed the entire show. You're getting free refills. I mean, alcohol separate, but we have the world's largest bar, so you can try anything and everything, right? So I'm not saying
Hands down,
that.
it's gonna be a good time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. Everybody that has come to the show and has seen the show within the last 3 years, I've had people come up and be like, "Hey, I remember you when I came to the show last year," and we'll pull up a picture and be like, "You were my favorite night then. I'm sorry I wasn't in your section. I would have cheered for you." So
Uh,
we have created an experience where regulars do come.
yeah,
You know
there's a
what I
real
mean? Like,
there's a community bond with an establishment and a venue like that.
yeah, and yes, it may be quote unquote fake, as people will say, but we make it as real as you will ever believe. Like,
You know, I don't like the word fake when you're getting smashed in the gut and then sometimes the nards over over the show, like, because it's real physically intensive. I hate the word fake.
I know.
People out there that want to use it, they can still use it if they want to, freedom and whatnot. But I wouldn't call it fake, man. Like, I think that it is some really fucking badass performance
Yep.
stuff, you know, and
Just
it's a
yeah,
Oh,
performance sport, dude. Like, just like
like what Carrot's
competing
saying, bro.
athletes in other areas, right?
It's
Like
so true. Like that the sword fight
wrestling
may
isn't
be
fake either,
staged.
you know, it's
Yeah,
hard
like
work.
the the sword fight may be staged, but getting kicked or stepped on by that horse is a not. So
Well,
and I
and
will also say,
choreography and show work are also intensive actions that require a lot of training,
indeed,
and it's not
one wrong
fake.
slip, dude.
Okay,
Yep, one
like
wrong slip, you're fucked. Someone's
the
gonna get
I will
hurt.
choreography
say,
required is really good too, you know. And like even if we were talking, you know, 1,000 years ago, and we were actually in like, you know, bring the best knights from that realm and the best knights from the other realm and do the whole competition thing, like where it's like nobody wants any of the knights to die, but we all want a big friendly competition. It was still like hardcore, you know. It's not
yeah,
fake. Like it's real competing, and I feel like the show thrives because it sounds like y'all bring that element where like even though it's choreographed and all of that, it doesn't seem like they're watching a play. They're watching y'all like brawl, you know.
and we try to. I mean, that's why we stick to the form. The way that we do things, after a while, it becomes such muscle memory that you could add a little more pizzazz or a little more power into your strikes, and maybe tweak it in a way where you get more sparks, and it just sounds more like heavy. Like each blow could be the last, like it, it, it it's as real as
And
it can be.
love it.
And then I will also say this, because of how real the weapons are and how real the sparks are, I have a now scar on my left bottom eyelid because a spark from combat. We were doing a block. I was doing a block from ahead, and the spark almost went into my left eye and
Ouch.
Dang,
burned my skin.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
as real as it can be. You can almost lose an eye because a little piece of metal that's really hot almost gets into it.
Aren't
Yeah.
those blades made out of titanium?
Yes.
Did I hear that? Yeah,
Yes.
you
Wow.
don't want
Wild.
hot titanium getting into your eye.
Yeah, no, and now I have a scar on my bottom eyelid as a reminder every day of how
Boy.
real.
And
And
imagine
you,
how much more often that would happen if y'all were using like iron blades.
Oh
right?
god.
Oh, and the amount of like little, like, because it's sparks, right? So, and we're
Yep.
not wearing like actual armor on our arms. So sometimes when we're practicing and we're just trying to like get sparks just out of like
Yeah, for
fun,
the fun of the sparks, yeah.
the sparks will like get on our arms and we're just like, ah, oh, hold on real quick. I gotta,
Yeah.
that burned.
Oh
And they,
no,
they don't
dude.
fizzle out quite as quickly as you would think. Like they're
No,
metal, they're metal
no.
sparks. So like they got some heat to them, and they want to go through the cloth, dude.
That
Yeah,
is wild.
so like you said, as staged as it might be, like there's other elements that make it just as real.
Yep.
Like the horses themselves, like they're not going to be on top of their game every single day. There's going to be a bad day where a horse is just like, no, I don't want to do this. And so, like I've mentioned before, you get off of them, and as they're running away, they'll throw a kick your way just to be like, F you, and
Just
then
to
go
spite
back.
you.
Yeah, just to spite you. Like, or you're going to try to canter them through a joust, and you feel them about to break down and slow down. And so you try to give them one good, like, hey, come on. And then
They're
they're
like, no, we're
like,
going.
no, we're already going. We're going this speed. You know, that they are lively animals.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And oh my gosh, you talking about
That, dude,
personalities is just
putting horses into any line of work just adds a layer of unpredictability to your workday. Throughout
yes.
the weeks and months, like it's awesome.
You're not
Dude.
gonna get
Like
bored.
working with animals is fantastic. Like
You're not
whatever
gonna
other
get
work
bored.
you're doing, if you're also working with animals, like the job is just going to be so much better. Even though there's more work with the animals, like because it's less. I don't know. It's controlled chaos because it's still always in the same category. It's always horse stuff, but you know,
and
adds a little something all the time.
and think about it like this. Like I said, we're human, right? So we make mistakes. We may do the same show every single day, but the show itself is not the same because a horse could freak out during the middle of a joust. A horse could freak out
Yep.
during games, or you miss and forget a couple strikes in the thing. So you both are kind of just like
Now you
trying
both
to
are
recover.
right?
Yeah, like there's so much variables that changes the show day by day. And so that's why I would never consider my job boring by any means because of how unpredictable it could be. I
It
don't
would
know
be
if I'm
pretty hard
winning the
pressed to
tournament.
find it boring.
Like I said, it may be the same thing every single day, but the day itself is never the same. So yeah, I would
Well,
leave
if you
like to
you
leave
call it
that for the
job,
people.
yeah, hell
I love
yeah.
that, dude.
Me too, man. That is great.
Love
All
that.
right, with that, Tristan,
We'll say we'll
what
take
else
us
you
out.
got?
Well, recently, I feel like this is a pretty good little snippet of a quote from Charlie Chaplin, of all people, that I've come to really like, and it kind of shines a light on today. You know, he made this speech back in the day during World War II. He was actually mimicking Hitler because he was doing a skit, and he
I know
had the
the
little
one you're
mustache.
talking about.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
Yeah, I know the skit
yeah,
you're talking.
yeah.
Machinery has given us an age where we live in abundance, and yet that abundance has left us wanting.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's
yeah,
the
man.
truth, man. not only has it
It
left
really
us
is.
wanting, it's made us more greedy, and we as a species, like not just our country, not just like the Western world,
Yeah, that's not a
we
American
as
or a
a,
Western thing. It's just a
it's all of
global
us.
thing, man.
And like you can like we have for the most part, especially here in America, we have everything that we need at our fingertips, and yet we're all so depressed. Like everyone's so depressed, and like I said before, dude, I think people just need to find that thing, and once they
Yeah.
find their thing, then it's off to the races. Because dude, I know it happened for me. Carrot was present for a lot of it. Like Carrot watched me, dude. When I left
I've
the army,
watched the
Carrot watched me go
transformation,
through.
man.
Yeah,
I watched the
he watched me
transformation
go through my
of this
low.
man becoming a butterfly. Okay, I'm sorry, Tristan, but I'm gonna compare you to a butterfly because you like what's the word, metamorphosize, like, yeah,
Metamorphosized
metamorphosized inside of your like little cocoon for a little while
chrysalis.
there, chrysalis, and then you busted out, and look at you now, man.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty
Yeah.
nuts. Well, boys,
Yeah.
I think we'll end it there. But to all you listening, this has been the Hobby Hanger, and I'm really glad y'all came to give us a listen. I'm glad that Carrot was able to join us for this one because this one was pretty cool. This is somebody that we grew up with, and I'm always glad to see like the people I grew up with come out and make something of themselves. And this man's done it. This man's definitely done it. So if you liked the show and you enjoy what we do, pop on over to Patreon, give us a like, throw us a few dollars. Find us on YouTube, find us on Spotify, find us on Apple, find us anywhere you find your podcasts. And ladies and gentlemen, most importantly and last, but certainly not least, stay sexy.
Breaking down reviews, got the hottest takes. Dropping all the scoop like a chef serve cakes. Tune in every week, you know what to do. Join the Hobby Hangout, we got room for you. Grab your headphones, kick back, relax. We got the stories, true facts to the max. From east to west, we got the whole globe wrapped. Tristan and Conner got this podcast talking about hobbies, baby, every single show. Chilling with the best, let the good vibes